Right, folks, welcome to FK2 review. Just a wee quick pod that we're putting out this evening just to talk about the cup draw and just give a wee bit of reaction. As always, I'm Ray. We've got Chris, and then we've also got Corey as well.
How we doing, everyone?
So,
How we doing? All right.
good.
Wait,
Good.
wait, before we start, what's this hearing? Am I hearing this right? Chris has an
Are you
actual
hearing-
microphone.
Hearing a new microphone, yeah.
Wow, it's no longer
Aye.
breaking my eardrums.
Audible gold, isn't it?
I know.
Audible gold, yeah, indeed.
Oh,
We're in the Premiership now. I had to get a Premiership microphone. So
definitely.
That's it. No half measures. We're
Nah.
no tin pot. We've got to go all out.
Definitely.
So,
exactly.
reason for this pod, as mentioned, for those that are not aware, the last 16 for the, make sure I get the correct name and don't just be lazy and call it the League Cup. We are talking about the Premier Sports Cup last 16, and we were drawn with Celtic away for him, which Celtic.
Never heard of them, mate. Don't know who they are.
You may recall we played there last season. Didn't get the right result, but got certainly the right bank balance from it. What was it? I think it was like 300k or something like that we made for it, which was no bad.
Something like that, aye.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was I think at 350 or something, but definitely helped us sort of strengthen the squad and obviously hit that sort of break-even target that we had at the start of the season, while still obviously enhancing the squad. It was a great draw for us, to be honest, last season.
Well, see, that's interesting. I'm talking about that it ended up affording some of the signings that we eventually made in January, because this time last season it was Hearts that we'd got in the cup at this stage. On the one hand, it's a gutter going to Celtic Park again, where it's going to be really tough. But at the same time, getting them this early means that you're probably about 300k. That's worth a signing or two, isn't it?
Definitely. It's going to help us as well in the long run because obviously being back in the Premiership now, we're going to have to face them another 3 times at least. That's also granting that we get the miracle of getting the top 6. So it's like a case of, that's our first taste of Celtic this season. So we'll know how they're going to try and play against us for the rest of the season. Because they're not going to do the same as they done last season and try and underestimate us and then just go, oh, they actually know how to play football. Boys, get on. It's going to be a case of, cool, you got to taste it last time, we're now going to bum rush you. And it's going to be a case of, can you keep up?
Aye, so sorry, I was just going to say something else I would say as well is that when you tend to see the shock results that Rangers or Celtic get, like I'm probably more talking about the league side of things, but you do tend to notice they will lose a game early on in the season, so we're probably playing them at the best time possible, if that's such a thing as that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that one.
I would agree as well. Although Celtic have made some signings that probably have yet to be assessed, I would say. They've lost, obviously, Kuhn. I don't think that they've strengthened that much. They're also, I think that they'll probably have a game in Europe midweek, possibly, after they play us.
I think so.
So there's a decent chance that they'll
that's a good
play
point.
a weakened team again. And without sort of strengthening, they might be leaving it late in the window before they strengthen. So I think that this is a really good time to be playing them.
Definitely.
In the cup. But obviously, I think that they're going to be a tough game no matter what.
Oh no, but it's never going to be easy going to Celtic Park. Like, as much as like at the tail end of the season, going to Celtic Park, granted, will still be hard. Last season, St Mirren went there on the last day of the season and almost got a win on the last game of the season, to the game where that would have been the day Celtic lifted the trophy. Celtic realised they had nothing to play for. Still, they knew Celtic technically have only been 2 games into the season. It'll be a case of it's right, let's just get to the next round of the cup. Easy days, get an easy win. But there'll also be us who are now desperate to prove ourselves. We'll be fighting for everything, where for Celtic this is just another game. So it's one of the ones.
The other thing that probably does benefit us, and I know that there's going to be a lot of discourse about how far can this squad go, bear in mind that we're talking about a core squad that's realistically was built in League One. But the fact that so many of these guys experienced that disappointment of last season, that's only going to fuel them to want to do better. And look, I'm not going to say that we're going to go there and win or anything. I believe that if everything falls in our favour and Celtic have a horrendous day in front of goal and have a major off day, we've done it before. We've done it back in 2006. It absolutely can happen, but we need more luck than we had last time. We had about 80% of the luck we needed, and it just came down to conceding the equaliser. We could have maybe recovered for it, but when conceding that other goal straight after it,
No,
that killed us.
it was the point of where like Celtic realised that once they had got the game back equal, it could have been a case of just run at them because we were tired. And mainly, like I've heard everyone say it, and I've got to the point now. At first, I didn't agree, but now I do. If McKeever didn't get injured, I think we could have won that game.
Oh, he was so good in that game.
Because I was talking to my mate. Now, we'll get on to bits and bobs about it, but I was talking to my mate yesterday about Brian Graham's style of play with Falkirk, because I've noticed it over the weeks. Brian Graham isn't much of a pressing forward as McKeever is. He's more of a poacher. He'll wait and put the ball to me, I'll score. And you see it especially when Alfie took the shot and he screamed at Alfie, like, pointing at his feet. Like, why didn't you pass it to me? Alfie's just like, just go away. But it's like, we're used to, like, Celtic especially, they weren't ready for the fact that McKeever was playing a pressing forward, not just a poacher. He just went for the ball immediately, and as soon as we lost that was the game gone for us.
Yeah. I think another thing that we probably need to remember, and I totally agree with you about the whole pressing forward situation with McKeever, but we still have a relatively young squad. Like a lot of our players, like Dylan Tate, I think is like 22, 23. Ethan Ross is 24. Calvin Miller's still on, like probably hitting peak. Ross McKeever, 24. Like we've got a young squad that we've now added more experience to, and all of these guys have now got. Some of them have got 2 league winning seasons behind them. They've all got a good taste of playing against Celtic last season as well. Alfie, like I know we're not really talking about the group stage too much, but Alfie's been looking fantastic in the group stage.
Yeah, he was good when he came on as well, I thought.
Like he seems to have just matured a little sort of nudge as to, there are times where he's shooting rather than passing, where he should be passing. But like I've seen him sort of play off the ball a lot better now, rather than just trying to run in like and steam train people and take them on all the time. He's being a lot more sort of cleverer with the ball, which shows a bit of level of maturity. Yeah. Again, another guy that's probably, I think he's only 24. Like all these guys are young. When we played Celtic last season, we obviously never had aspirations to go and win the Premier Sports Cup. We went there, it was a free hit, the guys played without pressure. It's going to be the same this time. Definitely. But they're all going to be of a year's more maturity. And we need to remember as well that Scott Bain will have loads of knowledge to impart on how this team plays, what's the sort of weaknesses that their players have. I think that we've got a better opportunity now to really go and upset them than we did last season, and look how close we came last season.
No,
that's fair.
Like for us, like the one thing I've noticed, especially now, with like one game I'm definitely going to talk about is the Edinburgh City game here. Edinburgh City played us off the park perfectly by simply slowing us down. The one thing I talked about in the first episode. If you find a way to slow Falkirk down and stop their tempo, you'll beat it. And they done it perfectly. And Tui Daramola, the one guy I spoke about saying he's one to watch, he done us twice.
I agree to a certain extent there, Corey, but like we made the mistakes that gave Edinburgh their goals. Like it was a calamity errors. Like if we never made those mistakes, then I don't think that they score. But at the same time, there's an element of that boy that you were talking about, the way that he pressed the defence, sorry, to make them make those mistakes. Obviously, can't be overlooked. So.
No, that he presses really, really well, and obviously the way he played at Bo'ness and stuff like that's now transferred to East. Didn't really transfer over to East Kilbride, but it's now transferred over to Edinburgh City. Like we said, it just takes that one coach to get the player how they need to be. And obviously the coach they've got there, I've seen the stuff on social media of the way that guy's training them. It looks intense. I don't know if you've seen the videos of them on the beach. Yeah. That was Sahanuti, like Rocky. I was watching it going, what is this guy doing? He's literally got them in the pouring rain, running up a hill on the beach where it's just mocket sand.
Aye. I think Hearts used to do it as part of their pre-season, like years ago. And like I remember a few of the players back then saying that it was like, it's grueling. So obviously I don't know if that's where he's picked it up. Is it Michael somebody?
I think Edinburgh City manager. I couldn't tell you his name.
Can't remember his second name. But aye, like obviously I don't know if that's where he was picked it up, but Hearts used to do the same thing, and like better professionals than what are at Edinburgh City used to say it was grueling. So aye, they'll be fit if nothing else.
No, definitely.
Aye. See, just as a wee sidebar as well, I was just thinking, just because you'd mentioned about Edinburgh City and that, just as a wee quick one, the one thing that if we're talking about in the lead up to Celtic as well is that we lost to Edinburgh City and that, so maybe this invalidates what I'm going to say a wee bit, but during pre-season, I would have liked maybe playing somebody that I would say that not necessarily a team that you were getting a pumping off, but a team that's better than us, that where we're going to have to try playing the way that we are most likely going to have to play in a lot of the games this season, where we're not going to have very much of the ball, we're going to be defending a lot more. Like, what exactly are we learning for playing teams like the likes of Wraith Rovers and St Johnstone and that, when these are the kind of tests that are ahead? I didn't really understand it. I mean, I'm no a coach, you know. I don't get paid money for this. I'm sure there's method in it. I don't see McGlynn as the type to do oversights. He seems like a very, very thorough kind of guy. I just don't really understand the thought process behind playing those kind of teams when we're going to be up against teams like Hibs and Aberdeens and Rangers and Celtic and that most weeks.
Yeah. See, just on that, Ray, do you think it's maybe a case that McGlynn doesn't want us to be sitting in? Like he wants us, like, no matter what it is, you know, like how Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham, and obviously we've seen how that worked out. I would definitely take a European trophy, even if we get relegated, but that's not going to happen because we're not in Europe. But in terms of like playing on that front foot and just like having that mentality that we're going to score, so you guys are going to have to come out as well. And I think that's when we're better. I don't think that we're very good sitting in. I think that we're better when teams come out, and then we can then play our game as well, go out and more of an open, expansive game.
Well, that's the thing. You could probably make arguments both ways, because whilst we want to dictate the way that we want to play, we've got to be realistic and say that, you know, there's going to be games where we're just not going to simply be able to do that, because we're just not going to be able to get the ball off the likes of Celtic and probably Rangers as well. I would love it if it was a case of that we just focus on how we play, but at the same time, some of these teams are going to be big threats this season. And I mean, maybe I'm just talking crap, right enough. I mean, we conceded one goal in the group stages. Weaker opposition in that, but some of the mistakes we were making defensively towards the end of last season, it's good to see that we've cut that shit out at least.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Lewis Nielsen's had a big part to play in that. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. I think that it gives Hendo a lot more sort of confidence as well, knowing that he's got somebody that reliable next to him in the centre defence. Right. I think we've got a really, really strong defence. Maybe not like the best, strongest physical centre backs in the league, but in terms of like ball playing defenders, I think we're right up there. Sorry.
Yeah. I've been impressed with Nielsen so far. Again, I would have liked to have seen him come up against somebody that's maybe a bit stronger than what we are to really see what he's made of. But he's played a good few games for Hearts in the Premiership, and
Aye.
for what I was reading, they weren't all that happy on him being loaned out. Which, all right, the last time I said that, it was Miller Thompson, and the Dundee United supporters were like, "Oh, what you late loaning him out for?" And then we're all scratching our heads thinking,
Well, why
"Did they
did you loan
send
him
it?
out?
Like, did you send us his twin that doesn't play football or something?"
Aye.
That,
Yeah.
that's harsh. I take that back. That's harsh. The boy just it just didn't work for him.
No.
I'm sure.
As much
I
as
mean,
like he
look,
didn't work for us, I get what you're saying, but it's like Nielsen's already proved himself. He's a starter in this squad already.
aye.
And granted, let's be honest, we'd all rather have Luke Graham back, right? It's the one thing we're told as football fans: don't fall in love with a lone player.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Luke Graham, man. He's a boy.
Aye.
Even his first day back at Dundee, he said to the media guy, what did you do? Oh, I went and hold the Ibiza after I won the league with the boys. And they're like, oh, look at
Aye.
you won the league. Ooh. It's like, he's a fucker boy, man.
Aye,
He's
seen
even part
that.
of the games.
Aye. Like he would be back at us in a second
Mhm.
if he could. But yeah, I think that we just need to kind of let that go until such a time as he becomes available.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's starting for Dundee at the moment. Obviously, he scored a couple of one in the wrong end of the wrong end of the pitch, one in the right end. But yeah, I think that he's going to be playing for them this season. I can't see us getting him back.
No.
And even then, I think that granted we could probably use them as another option. But I think that Hendo and Nielsen are going to be our first choices going forward.
Definitely.
Well, that's an interesting thing because, I mean, how long is it Cole is meant to be out for? It feels like he's one of those, the meme injuries where it's like you're told they're going to be out for a couple of weeks and then they end up being out the whole season.
That's
Like,
Cole, though. Cole will tell you,
Aye.
I'll be back in a few weeks. John will look at him, push him at the way, and he goes, he'll be back in about 8 months, mate. He's a lying bastard. He's like, I'll be back, I'll be back soon, I'll be back soon. And John's like, no, you will not. Stop lying. Then he's like, shut up, John. He's like, I'll be back in 2 weeks. He comes back in 2 weeks, and I'm like, you're still injured, aren't you? And he's like, no. He's like,
what's
back when you have
the
them.
actual time frame? Like, is there any idea when he's actually going to be back?
I didn't think that we've got a definitive
No.
time frame as such.
I mind he said in an interview, Cole said he'll be back in like 2 months or something. That was just before pre-season. And John said it's more looking like October, November time. I'm not sure if that's the exact words to use, but that's like the time scale from months to use. They'd roughly be around that time, so he probably won't only be back until after Christmas at least.
I mean, the last time I had this kind of conversation, we were talking about Tom Lang, and I hold my hands up and say I probably thought he wasn't going to play another game for us, but he was great towards the end last season. Although he's not really been getting a look in much of late. I mean, he's not been injured, has he? Because I've seen him warming up.
He's not been injured,
He's
but
he was on the bench.
it's the blunders he's made, especially against Edinburgh City. It's like the stupid extra
that's right.
touches he takes. It's like one thing like now for once I'm not going to abuse Sean Mackey here. Alfie, he takes stupid extra touches when he shouldn't. Sometimes the boy just needs to shoot. Sometimes it's just a pass. But it's a moment of hesitation of, oh, what I do? He takes the extra touch, the ball's gone for his feet. It's Tom, it was a case of he's tried to roll it out so he could ping it, but he's put too much of a heavy touch, waiting to hit it, lost the ball. It's like stuff like that, where it's like stupid touches he's taking that he shouldn't be taking, and he should know he shouldn't be taking. But he's took them and it's lost the ball.
I'd actually blacked that out, just like the one against Partick Thistle as well. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, like that extra little touch, or like he's waiting to make a pass, but he's just hit off the wrong side of his foot. But even that, it slowly adds up.
But here's the thing, right? Sorry, Chris, I was just going to quickly say, we're all football manager players, right? So we all know that you get the players that are ball playing defenders and the ones that are just old school, wanting to run through a brick wall. That is definitely that's Tom Lang's description. He is not a ball playing defender. You can see that the mistakes he makes are all the same.
No nonsense setting back. That's Tom.
He's a clear your lines defender. He's no the short intricate passing and that. Like, and Cole can do that. Obviously we know Hendo can do that,
Hmm.
and we've seen so far that Nielsen not only can play the ball short, but he's got a bit of a ping on him as well.
Hmm.
That's where I think that somebody like Tom Lang is going to find it a bit more difficult to get into the team this season, because it looks like, based on the teams we've played, that John McGlynn wants us to play the exact same way that we played last season. It doesn't look
Hmm.
like there's been any major changes to our tactical philosophy or that. Still playing out for the back. I mean, we've brought in a keeper that is good with the ball at his feet, and I hope as well, by the way, anybody that's watching that was geeing Scott Bain stick for a couple of wee mistakes he made, I think that I'd certainly like to think he's starting to change some people's minds, because he's been pretty good the last couple of times he's played.
Yeah,
No,
I
definitely.
would agree with that. Obviously, against Cove, we probably didn't have much to do because we battered them without scoring. I mean, Robbie Much had the game of his life in that game. But when it came to the penalty shootout, Scott Baines stepped up and saved two. Um, and then obviously it was against Spartans. So yeah, I mean, you're not expected to have him expect him to do very much against a team like that. But there was a couple of shots for longer range, and then there was one that I seen that was just outside the box that, by all rights, should have been a goal. And
Oh, that was a beautiful save.
Yeah,
Scott's got across to tip it around the post, And yeah, I think that, like you say, Ray, with a ball at his feet, he looks a lot more confident than what Hogarth does.
Definitely.
Um, and obviously, I think Hogarth's probably a better shot stopper from what I've seen. But Scott Bain he's not been kept around at Celtic, even as like the reserve keeper for 7 years for no reason. Like, he is a very, very good goalkeeper.
Hmm.
yeah.
And I think obviously once he gets up to speed, that he's gonna prove his worth.
I
Which
think it,
kind of, sorry, I was just going to say, which kind of leads me on as to, obviously this is about the draw reaction stuff. Who do you think is going to play in goals?
Scott.
well, that's actually what I was going to say, is that
Right.
supposedly Scott Bain's on around 3 grand. Don't ask me where I found that rumor from, but that's for speaking to a couple of people. Anybody that thinks that Scott Bain's coming here to earn 3 grand and sit on the bench, no chance. He
Mm,
will absolutely be playing.
definitely.
I think he's going to be the number one. That's why he's been brought here. If we wanted somebody else to sit on the bench while Hogarth was number one, we wouldn't be paying him 3 grand a week.
No.
Yeah.
So
Nah, not at all.
I
I
think
th-
if we
Yeah.
do, sorry, I think if we do make him the number one keeper though, it'll be the same as League One situation where we kept playing Sam Long every week. Granted, Sam Long was a loan, and that was the purpose of the loan, was to keep him as the number one keeper for the time being while Nicky levelled himself up. I still think it's a bit unfair for Nicky to have arguably one of the best seasons a goalkeeper's ever had in the Championship to then go up the leagues and then bring in somebody from the best team in the country to replace you after you've had one of the best seasons of your life.
well, you'd have to ask Nicky how he feels about that, right? But on the one hand, he could be disappointed, or he could use this as an opportunity to learn for somebody that's got bags of experience at a higher level that, let's
Hmm.
be honest, he's never played at. Like,
No.
he's never played at Premiership level, and Scott Bain has. It makes sense that you would want to bring in somebody that has that level of experience, rather than someone that, like, here's the thing: how many times, other than a couple of games we'll just forget about, how many times is Nicky went 4 or 5 goals down, and you're worrying about him losing his head or something like that? Like, somebody that's been there over the course of it with Dundee. Granted, I can't imagine Scott Baines. I think he conceded 3 at Hibs when Celtic played him against Hibs, if I recall correctly. But I don't think there was many games where he conceded a lot of goals at Celtic. I could be
Mm.
talking shite, to be honest, but
I don't
I
think
actually
so.
can't remember him playing much at Celtic for the few times I did pay attention to him, because I'll be honest, outside of like Falkirk and like certain teams I follow, I don't really watch the Premiership. But now that we're in, I'm going to have to keep an eye on some of the other teams.
Mm. Um, yeah, I think what'll be good for Nicky is that he's never had anybody that's really, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenged him for that number one spot. I know obviously we touched on Sam Long, but like Sam had a couple of good games, but every time it was that month about and Sam Long had to come in, you were just feeling like, "Oh, I wish he was doing that because I want to see Nicky get a run of games." And I think that now that he's got somebody that's coming in that is clearly probably going to be the number one, but it'll show us what Nicky's mindset is when it comes to that situation. Is he going to say, right, no, that's my jersey, and if you think that you're taking it with a fight, then you've got another thing coming, or whether he's going to be just give up. I didn't think he'll just give up. I think that he'll get opportunities and he'll take those opportunities because while I think that Scott Bay's a great keeper, I think that there's still errors in him because he's obviously not played for so long, and when that comes about, Nicky might just get a look in. Plus, obviously, Scott Bain's a little bit older, like a bit more prone to injury. Never know.
I think also speaking on to the injury situation, I think this is the first time ever that we've left the group stage of the League Cup without some sort of major injury coming from the group stage.
Who was it that got injured last season?
Was it no? Well, I mean, I think Callum's fell around about the same time, but I don't think that was caused by it, because that was Callum's mystery illness that nobody got anything about.
Aye.
But was it no? I think it was it no Cole?
Aye, that's right, because Minty was nursing an injury even when he played Celtic. That's
Aye.
right, aye.
Because round about that time, he got injured.
Aye. There's something in the back of my head saying Hendo had got some kind of niggle as well. Could be wrong.
I can't
But
remember.
aye, just circling back to the overall topic then, I think that, well, when the draw was first made, I was raging because I felt like we'd been cheated because we're honestly going there again, 2 years on the trot. Life's unfair. We don't deserve any nice shiny things, but like I said at the beginning, bit of more perspective, you realise that it's a lot of money. Aye, we don't want to get pumped. Of course, nobody does. But start of the season, Celtic could be a bit ropey, slow to start. All it takes is something going our way, and then the crowd get on their back. You never know. Like these shocks, they happen. Why not us?
Yeah, I've shared my screen. I've got the full draw up just so people who haven't seen it or people who just can't remember all the fixtures will have it. But I think it's very comical that the Old Firm conveniently have their first ties at home again. It's very comical.
See, it's because if you're any of the seeded teams, you automatically get a home draw, which is bullshit, in my opinion.
No, that's not the case.
No, because Hibs are away.
So Hibs, Aberdeen, Dundee United are away.
But I'm confused because when I watched it on Premier Sports, they said that the seeded ones get a home tie. I'm confused.
So I think it's 4 of the seeded teams get a home tie and 4 of the seeded teams get an away tie.
Right.
And
so obviously I think
they've kept the Old Firm bookmarked as the two that get home ties.
Is it based on league position then? Like maybe the
random?
No. So basically, it's like 4 of them go in. So eight of them are in the seeded pot, and 8 of them are in non-seeded pot. And then I think the first 4 go like seeded, unseeded, seeded, unseeded, seeded, unseeded, seeded, unseeded, and then the next one goes unseeded, seeded, unseeded, seeded, unseeded.
Right. So it's just pure luck or bad luck that we get.
Yeah. So if you look at it there, you've got Rangers, Celtic, St Johnstone, and Partick all got their home ties for the seeded teams, and then Hibs,
Dundee, Hearts,
Aberdeen, and Dundee United. Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the fact that Rangers got Alloa. Like, one of the Old Firm, I said that to my mate yesterday at the game. What's the chances that Celtic or Rangers get the easiest tie? And we laughed at the time going, it's comical, but it won't happen. We're sitting here now looking at Rangers getting Alloa, the easiest game there. Which, granted, they could pull a Queen's Park, but it's a miracle people want.
I think that kind of result we're not going to see for a while, I think. especially like Rangers are actually looking quite good.
Mhm.
In the sort of pre-season, and obviously in Europe as well, they looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Russell Martin's got them playing a good brand. It looks like, unfortunately.
Yeah, Celtic have had a very up and down start to the pre-season. An absolute hammering in Newcastle. Well, I don't think anyone's seen that coming. Or my best mate texts me every time I go went, and I'm sitting laughing. He's like, "Yes, it's 1-0, it's 1-0," and I'm like, "Cool." Here comes the Newcastle goals. Couple minutes later, it's 2. Wait, what do you mean it's 2? Ah, it's 2-0. It's 3. And I'm like, how's it 3? Ah, it's 4 now, and I'm like, oh no, we're in danger. And
And
then they got humbled.
they had
So-
more of their first team out at Newcastle than you
Mhm.
would otherwise believe as well. And then they played Ajax.
Sorry,
See,
Celtic. No, everyone can beat Ajax.
see, just looking at the ties there, I don't know if it's just navy blue tinted glasses on, like, but I'd say we're the tie of the round.
Yeah. I'll be
They-
honest. I'd say the two
Mm.
ties of the round are us and Celtic and Partick and Ayr.
Partick and Ayr, yeah, because obviously we know about them, but from an outsider neutral point of view, I didn't think Partick and Ayer's a real tantaliser, shall we say.
Well, you've got the fact that it's basically a rematch of the playoff, so it's got that
Aye,
going for it.
I suppose I like that. I think obviously Kilmarnock at Dundee United, probably a decent game. But out with that, like I didn't see it. I didn't see any of them that the Premier Sports TV will be like, oh, that's definitely something a tie that we're going to have to get on as one of our TV things.
Like
apart from
yeah,
us in Celtic.
sorry.
Aye, we're 100%
Definitely.
going to be on the telly.
Aye, us and Rangers is like Alloa versus. If that was the game at Alloa, that would have been so like bad for Alloa because they wouldn't have got the gate money. But because it's at Ibrox, granted, Ibrox will be empty. It usually is when it's a lower league team. It's still like the amount of money you'll get for going to play at Ibrox is the same as if they had got Celtic. The amount of money they'll get from it is going to be unbelievable, and it'll
Aye, it's
kickstart
massive
their
for
season.
Alloa. That's huge for Alloa.
What was the attendance when we played Celtic last season? About 40,000.
I think it was 42.
I think it was about 42, 43.
I'll double check the
I
now
don't
for
know.
you.
And that was still a decent payday. That it's not going to be a higher attendance than that, you wouldn't think. But if we could even
Yeah,
get about the same
40,
attendance,
42,960.
Aye.
I forgot ESPN was owned by Disney. That creeped me out when that came up there. Except Cookies, the Walt Disney Company, huh? But
I assume we'll get the same kind of allocation that we got last time then.
I
I
would
think they'll
hope so.
cut us. I think they'll cut us because of the fact that we've cut our attendance. I think they'll be because they've done that before, not just with Rangers, but like clubs that have intentionally made their away support smaller to not accommodate the old firm. They've deliberately slashed it.
Aye, that's in the league though.
Aye, that's in the league. I didn't think that they're allowed to do that in the cup.
You never
I
know.
think that there is a minimum sort of percentage that they have to allocate.
Speaking on
fans
that
for the
though,
cup
do you
game.
think that for the cup games, we'll lose the 3 sections we have for the home supporters for cups?
That's a good question. I was thinking about that. Cup games, the attendance they do tend to be a bit lower because it's not including your season ticket, is it?
No.
So I was wondering about that. I think it would really just be a case of, what are the rules for that? Is it what's the minimum allocation? Is it like 10% of your total, or is it 20? I know there's one for league and then there's one for in the cups, and I can't remember which is which.
10% rings a bell to me, but that's just like I say, a ringing a bell.
I think
check it.
I think 10% is for the league because 10% of our ground is about 700 roughly, and that's what the away allocation in the league is, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I think it's a
For
bit.
us, but like Hearts only give you like 500 or 600 tickets. That's no 10%.
I think it's 5. 5 or 6%.
Now that I think about it, although our allocation was about 2,500 or something like that, which sounds like a lot, but when you think about the size of Celtic Park, that's a tiny allocation compared to the percentage, isn't it?
Aye, like that one section that we had last season is our whole third stand. And on paper, you looked at that at Celtic Park, that was literally just a slither in the corner.
Aye.
So it's like,
Yep.
shows the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, but I do think that we'll get a decent allocation. Whether it's a full 2,500, because I remember last season I think that they were only going to give us 1,800 at first, but then like we applied for more because obviously the demand was there, and I think that they upped it to the maximum that they could, which would be 2,500. But yeah, hopefully they do that again, because I wouldn't say that it was like we sort of trashed the place or anything like that. I think that we added to the atmosphere, got loads of good sort of feedback for the majority of the Celtic fans.
Yeah,
So
the two videos I posted about it, my YouTube video, which is now my most viewed video of all time on YouTube, it's mainly just Celtic fans like congratulating us on like how well we done, like how good we done atmosphere wise on the pitch. Then there's the occasional knobheads that go, haha, you got pumped, and I'm like, mate, we're a championship squad, shut up. We've scored more goals in your stadium than Rangers have in the last few years. I didn't want to hear it.
See, just on that, by the way, I felt quite conflicted with all the handshaking and patting on the back and saying congratulations. It almost kind of came off as a bit condescending. It's kind of like the same way that I felt the way the Germans were with us when we were over at the Euros. That look at we Scotland, they're absolutely shite, but look, they're having a good time anyway. They're no giving a fuck. Like there's an element of go on yourself, wee man, like that. But it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it for the wrong point of view. But
No, I get where you're coming from with that one. I do.
So I would love even more to get a positive result, because it's like, because here's the thing I would pose to you, right? All the praise that the Celtic supporters gave us last season, would that praise have been there had they actually lost that game? I'm
No.
not convinced.
No chance.
I think it would have been a 60-40.
It
would have been a 60-40. The 40 being the aye, well done. You's beat us 60. Fuck yous all. And the whole usual losing their fucking chunk of dummy probably and all that.
Yeah, there would have been a massive outcry about Alfie at the first goal. And then obviously the VAR decision where they were saying possible offside, but everybody thought it was for a foul that Alfie done to get past the boy, but the boy just slipped and Alfie was away. There would have been much more said about that. Like, I watched a few Celtic podcasts, and a lot was said about the supposed foul that Alfie done for the first goal. And to be honest, like, I've seen them given. Like, he did grab him and kind of like stop him from getting out. But like, he wasn't getting to the ball before McKeever, even if Alfie never grabbed him.
Thing is though, with that, like, I can understand where they're coming from, but see, if you look at it from an actual neutral perspective, Alfie didn't move. As soon as the boy got up after he slipped, Alfie didn't move position. He stayed. He just tilted his body. He physically didn't take any steps. He just tilted his body and body blocked him, which isn't a foul. As long as you don't move, you've seen it plenty of times where like a player's ran into a defender who's just standing there.
Are you talking for Yeats' goal?
No, Rossi's.
Oh yeah, aye. So, aye. But you can see Alfie grabs the boy.
Aye, Alfie grabs the boy, but the thing is though, he doesn't actually move until McKeever's already at the ball. Like, whilst he's trying to run at the ball, Alfie's put his arm out to stop the boy and moved, but he stayed in the same position. He's just moved his body. He's not like deliberately running with the guy to stop him from getting the ball.
No.
He's just body blocked him. And you see it in Premier League games like down in England where VR's checked and they're like, aye, it's fine, because the defender's just standing there. The guy's running, he's just stood his ground and sent the guy flying.
Yeah. Did that goal go to VAR? My memory's so terrible.
I did.
McKeever's didn't he? Yeats's did.
I thought it was McKeever's that went to VAR, no Yates.
No. McKeever's was fine.
What did the Yeats' one go?
Offside.
So they were checking on a possible offside, because when the ball went over the top for Alfie to go down the wing before he crossed it in, apparently there was a possible offside there. But like, for me, like, he was nowhere near offside, so I don't know what that was about. But
I think it might have been the referee gone potential offside. Don't just wait.
I remember there was a VAR for one of the goals Celtic scored that ended up. I can't mind if it was the equaliser or.
It was the equaliser, aye, because
it was Ito's equaliser.
Because half our players were still looking at the screen because it hadn't came up, confirmed the referee blew the whistle, and they'd played it, and half our players were like, "Oh, we're back underway, fuck," and that's how we lost the ball because Mackie wasn't paying attention.
I was just going to say a certain left back that shall not be named.
No, I'll name him. I don't care. So, sorry, Sean. We love you. I promise. Right? I'll stop abusing you now. But it's like it was a moment of he hadn't realised that we were fully back underway. It was a look up, and he was there. It was like it was the It was just we don't talk about that anymore. We can talk about it in a few weeks' time when we get pumped again.
Hey, that's not.
No, I've said it to my mate. I've said to my mate who's a massive Celtic fan. I'm like, as much as on paper we have a 0.0000001% of doing it, they've said that before and we've done it.
Yep.
They said that against Ayr. We went to the Hampden, which we don't talk about that game. They said that against Hearts. They said that against Dundee United when we beat them 4-2.
To be fair, the Hearts one we rode our luck big time for the first 15 minutes.
Oh, aye. But
then we took over, and then I would like to think we contributed to. Actually, I don't want to celebrate a guy losing his job, but
no, it was it was we lost Nathan Smithy's job. I'll happily give you that one.
And made you and Cameron cry, so that's
everyone makes you and Cameron cry.
Yeah, and the best part about that game was my boy Sean Mackey making Vargas lose one of his teeth.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, that's right.
That was a beauty. Honestly, the boy just bounced off Sean. Belter.
I think, like, especially with our defenders, there's like a few moments where, like, especially last season, our defenders were a bit too rough, but perfect. Like, that game was just the pinnacle of Sean Mackey just stood his ground, didn't move, bang, down you go. Oh, yeah, you're missing a tooth there, mate. But one game that stood out to me, like, our defenders, like, try to be a bit more, like, after that, obviously, we played, a couple of weeks later, we played Steny, and Hendo got himself sent off after elbowing, I think it was Matty Aitken in the mouth. I watched that back, and every time I watch it, and I go, "Oh, what were you thinking? Like, what made my there go? Boof!"
He's lost his composure for a minute. It happens to the best of them.
Aye.
I honestly didn't think it was a red. I think that Hendo's just went to shield the ball, and the way that he's done it like that, and like the boy that he was there against was obviously a wee bit smaller than Hendo, so he's just been at that level.
Aye.
But I was talking. That was
sorry, when you go.
I was going to say that was the game that I reviewed actually when I was on Falkirk Daft. Was the Steny game, and like. If you look at it, this is what I said on the pod as well. Like, if you look at it for where the referee was, like the ball's going one way and Hendo's went to shield it, but for the referee's perspective, the ball's going that way and Hendo's came across right into the boy, and it doesn't look like he's going for the ball for that angle, but really he's just shielding the boy for getting the ball. But yeah, obviously the difference in height and stuff like that, the referee's just been like, oof. That didn't look good.
I was in the far corner. I was actually standing next to Ashley, who does the photography at Falkirk usually. I was standing next to her and we all just kind of looked at each other and was like, what was that for? And it wasn't until like a few photos came out and she went, oh! And I'm like, what? And she was showing everyone I didn't see it because I was too busy watching the game. I was in the far corner. I didn't even see it. I see Hendo turn round, the boy drop, and a red card comes out. And then I was speaking to Sam, like, Footy Adventures after the game, and he said that, have you seen it yet? And I'm like, no, I've not seen it yet. And after we stopped interviewing, he got his phone out and showed me the picture, and I was like, and it was just the elbow connected to the side of his face, and it's the ripple, and I'm being full on elbowed in the face. And I was like, yeah, that's a red. And we both just started laughing.
Yeah, I've not seen pictures like that, but
aye, it was a beauty.
I mean, we had a few dodgy red cards. I mean, who was it that got sent off against Hearts?
Shanley.
Aye, that's right. Aye, for the Lukang flying kick. Aye.
Aye.
And then Mikey McKenna done the same thing against Celtic.
Which I think was a harsh one. I I can't believe that never got overturned by VAR, because like when I've been watching it back, like his foot's high, but you see it just before he makes contact, like he brings his foot back, like or loosens the tension on it, so it's not like he's went through the boy. Like he's tried to get the ball and he's pulled away just at the last second, but obviously it's so close that like it's
Aye.
hard to see. But
I
aye,
just
the kid,
I don't understand the rules on that, right? I get it,
aye,
it can be potentially
just say that.
dangerous, right? But see if you're not allowed to put your foot up that high, the only alternative is to go flying in with your head, and then you're risking head injuries and that. Like, how is that any better?
Mhm.
Aye. Because I agree with you, Ray. Either you go in with your head or you let the ball drop, and then that just invites like 50-50s and stuff like that, which we obviously we want to see. It's good for
Mhm.
the neutral and stuff like that, but like that could invite more injuries.
Definitely.
I think that if the ball's there to be won, you're entitled to go for it. If you get the ball, but then you extend your leg out, like to actually cause harm and stuff like that, then that's fine. If you're seriously late and you've belted the boy in the face or whatever, like who was it? The PSG keeper Donnarumma, and he got a dull one last season in the Champions League, I think it was.
Like when
Um,
during Millwall versus Crystal Palace when the Millwall keeper booted Mateta's ear off.
aye,
Aye,
aye, it
that
was that one as
was
well.
horrific. I was watching it behind the
Like
wall. That was
those are
horrific.
horrific ones. The Shanley one, Mikey McKenna one, and even the previous season,
Call against Kelty.
call against Kelty. Like they're high feet, but like the rapidness of the referee going for that red card
Mhm.
in all three occasions, I was just like, am
Mhm.
I misinterpreting the
I
rules
know
here?
it's
Because
wild.
They'll say it's because it's dangerous or reckless play, but it's like if the player that is on the receiving end of that is stooping their head down to it, how are they not being dangerous by going into that as well? This is what I don't get.
Mhm.
aye, I mean it is obviously interpretation as to how high the referee thinks you should be allowing your foot to go versus how low should you be going down to head of the ball kind of thing.
Mhm.
So
Nah.
Yeah.
unfortunate.
I've got somebody I work with. Obviously, I'm not going to name them so they don't get in trouble. But she works security with us, and she also does like match day stuff at Falkirk. And she's like she came in the next game week after call got sent off, and she said to us, she's like, "Who here supports Falkirk?" And everyone just pointed to me, and I'm like, "What's happened? What's the club done now?" She went, "No, not the club. Your captain." And I'm like, "What's Cole done?" And she went, "Oh, see when he got sent off on Saturday?" And I'm like, "Uh-huh. Yeah, he's a bit of an arrogant prick." And I'm like, What?" And I went, "Yeah, he kind of trashed the place, lost his head and went mental. And he said a lot of no-no words that he shouldn't be saying." And I'm like, "Oh." I got told a lot of no-no words, and I've said here the podcast would promptly be cancelled. But, yeah, he wasn't a fan of the referee,
Oh,
put it that way. We're back?
yeah,
Aye,
we're
sorry,
back.
you cut
Right.
out just as you were
All
You
about
right.
cut
to
out,
say
yeah.
about the no words.
Yeah, aye. So if I repeated any of the no words, we definitely all get cancelled, not just me. But aye, wasn't a big fan of the referee. Put it that way.
I can imagine.
Aye.
Um,
Feel free to
especially,
share these off air, by the way.
I think especially given the sort of like where it was in the season, it meant that he was missing the last three games or last two games or whatever, however it was.
Mhm.
When we're going for Invincibles, like the captain, like he would have been pissed,
Mhm.
absolutely pissed. So yeah, I can imagine that he probably wanted to say even more
Oh, aye, definitely.
shocking words than what he probably did say.
The one thing I have been thinking is, do we want, obviously, we'll exclude one game, but do we want to try and predict how the next round's going to look?
Could do that, yeah.
Up
Yeah.
to you guys. Because there's a few
Well,
ties on there that I think could actually go either way.
Aye. Just start at the top then. Livingston Hibs.
I think that's an easy Hibs win any day.
eh,
Eh?
I don't know. Livingston have we all know Livingston pretty well at this point. They're able to grind out results I don't think that's as easy a win as it might look, especially with Hibs being in Europe as well. That could be a sticky game for them, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also depends
As
who they
much
play
as,
against us.
and just to clarify, I absolutely do not want Livingston to go through. I hope they do go out. I've got a funny feeling that they might not, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be tight, that one. I think obviously everybody expected Hibs to get beat midweek there. I think they obviously ground out a really good 1-1 draw and they take it back to Easter Road. They've got a great chance of progressing now when people were saying that they've not got a good chance. So they could be in Europe at that point. Are they going to go full strength when they have a chance to progress in Europe? Probably not. And
Nah.
Livingston are actually looking like pretty good. Like they're no grinding out results and stuff. They're dominating teams. Like they were on good bit of momentum for the end of last season. They've sort of carried that into the cup as well. I didn't think that that's going to be as clear cut as what you maybe think, Corey. However, I think Hibs have still got enough about them to get through.
I think it'll
Gives
be.
you the book, man. Gives you the book
I know.
praising them, eh?
I think praising either of them gives me the book. I fucking hate Hibs. But that's just because of the championship days, man. Like, if you wanted it for the championship days, like, folk don't understand the reason why we hate Hibs so much. Like, obviously, us Hearts and Hibs would have been a kind of local-ish thing. Like, we're nearby each other, so it's like a wee bit of, like, a competitive rivalry. But like, when we went down to the championship with them, especially like the 2 seasons we were in there with Hibs, it was volatile with Hibs. Absolutely volatile. Got to the point where now even just their naming conversation, I'm like, no.
They wouldn't have liked that 90th minute McHugh winner then, would they?
Oh no, they absolutely
Yeah.
hate us for that.
I think the next one is probably going to be more clear cut. Even though I'm all for the underdog, I can't see anything else than a Rangers win
No,
against Alloa.
they're gonna. I mean, I could see Alloa scoring at least once, like get like a late consolation goal when Rangers aren't really want to pay attention, or same thing that happened with like Partick a couple of years ago, where like Alloa on a lucky break get a penalty. But it's like I didn't really see it, but you never know. It's football's the sport where you have to expect unexpected because anything can happen.
Yeah.
Aye, especially in the cup.
Especially in the cup. Aye, the cups are unwritten. But I didn't see Rangers scoring any less than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be something similar to that. You tend to see a lot of the time that the weird team will maybe catch the big team cold and go a goal up, which is, well, obviously we did it, but we took the lead twice, which was a wee bit probably more concerning for the Celtic supporters. But aye, don't be surprised if Alloa start faster than Rangers and get a goal, but they'll not be able to hold out and they'll probably end up getting a heavy beating by the end of it.
Aye, definitely. Do we want to leave the third game for
Yeah,
last?
yeah. Just before we move on, I think that probably a bit different for you guys. I do think Alloa's going to get a sniff. I think Rangers are going to steamroll that one. As much as it pains me to say it.
Yeah, definitely. Kelly Dundee.
Dundee United.
I think that's
The Dundee fans won't like you saying leaving off the United part.
no, sorry, Dundee United. Aye, sorry. Aye, yeah, I've mainly done that in case my manager sees this because that'll annoy him. I think that will be a really, really close game. I think that could go to penalties. To be fair,
Yeah, that's got extra time written all over it.
I'll be honest
Aye, I
though,
think so.
that screaming 0-0 goes to penalties. That just has that written all over it.
That's a possibility. If I was doing like the Super Six that they do in the English Premier League, you have to guess the scores, and that game was on it, I'd probably go for a 0-0 there. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
But granted, you
I
could
think-
see something like Dundee United pull a 90th minute like they did against us. That didn't happen. But it's one of the games, isn't it, Ray?
I think
Before my time, we've dominated Dundee United since I've been a fan.
I think it could go either way. But if I was forced to pick one over the other, I would probably say Dundee United, but we're probably talking 1-0, probably extra time.
Definitely. Now the
St
next one,
Johnstone,
though,
Motherwell then.
that's going to be just say, I think.
I think this is the first proper upset.
Mhm.
I think St Johnstone could beat Motherwell.
So they are. Like, sorry, Gogsy, if you do see this, but it's like, I didn't see Motherwell winning this one. I really don't. They've new manager, decent start. I just don't see them besting St Johnstone, who granted have had one heck of a group stage, especially winning 8-0. Granted, it was against a no better side team, but like same way as like you didn't just steamroll teams and then play a team that's realistically similar to their level and no put up a huge fight, if not cause a upset.
St Johnstone have sold a massive amount of season tickets. I'm sure it was about 3,000, which is a lot for them. They'll be one of the favourites for the championship. If they get off to a decent start in the league season, they've got every reason to go into that game feeling confident, believing that they could win that game. Why not?
Definitely.
I think it's a similar situation to us with Hearts last season. I think St Johnstone, if they've got a good start to the championship, Motherwell, obviously they did do well in the group stages, but if they possibly don't get a good start in the league, you could be looking at St Johnstone basically maybe riding out an early storm, same as us last season, but then taking control of the game.
Yep.
One thing that people forget as well, granted St Johnstone did get relegated last season, they were also in the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup.
Yep.
So it's like
they were out at it by half time. But
aye. Thing is though, St Johnstone are a mainstay name for cups. Like not that long ago, they had the domestic double. They won both cups. Like they're
Callum Davidson.
It's just like they're just the cup team. It's like when you face them in the cup, it's a case of they don't know how they do it, they just do it. So it's one of the ones where it's like, I'm gonna have to go St Johnstone on this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely St Johnstone.
Yeah, I'm going to go St Johnstone as well.
I think this next one though is going to be an easy answer.
It's going to be Aberdeen all day long, but at the same time, though, this is a team that's in Europe as well. This is where you it can get sticky because are you going to risk injuries? Are you going to play guys that are tired from already? I mean, do they play European games just before this, or is it just after?
I think it's just after.
I think maybe just after, because I think if Hibs are still in it, they've got the chance to postpone our game.
Aye.
Which is the week after these sexy fixtures. So, I think it's a week after they're playing.
You've still got to fancy Aberdeen regardless. Even if they were to rotate the squad a wee bit, they should still have enough to see off Morton. I mean,
Capello is a weird stadium to play at though. Like Capello is an absolute doghole. Like I think we've seen it throughout like the group stages there. I've seen the video of the random groundsman mopping a puddle. Capello is an absolute shit pit, but it's like it's one of those grounds where if you play the right team there, you'll steamroll them, and I think that's what Aberdeen need to do.
I just can't see anything less than an Aberdeen win there. I think Morton have had a good group stage, but it's a bit more than they could chew when it comes to Aberdeen. I can't see anything less than an Aberdeen win there.
My mate's a Morton supporter, and he's just happy that they got out the group. I don't think there was a lot of expectation from their fan base for them to even get this far. This is a free hit.
Aye. Indeed. Partick VAR.
I think this is a tricky one as well, to be fair. This is another one that I think could go either way, and you're probably talking like a narrow margin, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the playoff games were they fairly tight as well? I can't even remember what the results were.
They were very, very tight. I'm pretty sure Partick won the last dying minute, was it not? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Or am I thinking of a different
I know that Partick won 2-0 at Ayr.
I think the first game though was like a last minute equaliser, was it not?
No, Ayr won 1-0 at
Was it? What am I thinking
Partick,
of?
was it no?
Am I thinking of the Livy game?
The Livy game was.
A 1-1 draw the first game, and then Livy pumped them the second,
I
was it not?
think Livy won both games 2-0.
Did they? I can't
against
remember. I wasn't
Partick.
paying attention. I must have been
Right,
early
I've got it
years.
up. So
He's got
Partick
it up.
Thistle overturned a first leg deficit to knock Ayr United out thanks to a 2-0 victory at Somerset Park. Aye, that was it. They
Aye.
they
I must
lost
be
at
thinking
Ayr
another
and
year
then beat them
then.
away.
There's my lack of football knowledge, by the way. Just me thinking about other years. Sorry for the black screen and interjection here. I'm going to have to apologise to some Partick Thistle fans here. I'm getting myself confused. I didn't watch the playoffs as much. I kept track of it. But the game I'm getting confused myself here with is the final game between Livy and County. Yeah, that's what I'm getting confused with. So I am very sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Let's just return back to the podcast.
So based on that, I'm
I'm
going to
just
go
glad
Ayr
I was
United.
right.
I know. I'm thinking there. I was like, I also one thing I need to correct myself on before we go on here. I have to apologise to the Partick Thistle fans because in the last episode I got them confused for the scum of the earth. Partick were in the Premiership for, now this one I might get it wrong, 4 or 5 years when they got promoted. It was Scunfermline that went down twice straight after getting promoted. So I got them mixed up. So typical
Oh,
scum of
that's
the
right.
earth.
You said that they were a yo-yo where they
Jesus
got
Christ.
I know, I got them mixed up. I think
Episodes
I had it
are
on my
already-
notes. I had it on my notes as well, written there about something, and I must have read it wrong and got it mixed up. And it's done me dirty because I had a few folk texting me correcting me.
I am going to go for Partick in this one.
I'm going for a new
I
one.
just think
Yeah, I
that
think they are enough.
being at home, and I think that while Ayr look all right, I still think that they're trying to find their best team. I think like against St Mirren, what I've seen today, I only watched some of it, but they just didn't really look cohesive when they were playing. I think Partick obviously had a great group stage, won all 4 of their games. I think that they're looking pretty good. I think that losing Brian Graham may have hurt them, but signing Tony Watt has probably plugged that gap. In terms of like a big experienced striker. So yeah, I think that Partick will sneak through, but I will say I don't think it's going to be a game that's going to be any sort of spectacle. I think it'll be pretty dogged.
I still think you could do it late into the game, find an equaliser, put it level, keep it to extra time, take it to penalties. Actually, is there extra time in the Premier Sports round 2s?
Yeah.
Or is it just the group stage go straight to penalties?
No,
it's extra time. Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. I couldn't remember there. I was like, did they not scrap that for certain rounds? But no, I think that's
just the group stage. Just the group stage because they do the bonus points.
They've done all 4 replays in that now, so it's.
Yeah.
But no, well, second last one, St Mirren Hearts. I think that'll be a Hearts just demolition.
I don't know. St Mirren have been good consistently for years at this point. They've finished in the top 6 for a couple of seasons on the trot now. I could see them doing all right. And here's a wee bit of trivia, just because how often do we talk about St Mirren? Do you know that their stadium has the exact same capacity as ours?
Yeah.
I actually think I still like me whether I've spoken about it so many times. Like, why didn't we build our stadium the exact same way? Like it was, I think it was just a kind of thing that we wanted a Premiership stadium, so we built the big stand. Like, but that's what we wanted was the big cool. Look at us, we've got a big stand, kind of thing.
Now,
but
bear in mind as well that the council wanted to have all their offices in there, and they don't even use half of them anymore.
No. Yeah, I think I'm a bit torn on this game, to be honest, because I think that both sides have signed quite a lot of players, and both of them have signed sort of foreigners amongst those players that they've signed, which may take time to sort of not gel, because obviously both of them won their respective cup groups, so they are doing well. But in terms of playing against a team that's at a similar level, this is probably the first time that they're playing a team like that in a competitive fashion. And yeah, I just don't know how the two are going to stack up. However, if pushed, I'd probably say I think Hearts will sneak it. But I didn't think that this is going to be an easy win for them.
No, I think
Probably
it's
similar to the Hibs game.
No, I agree with that. I think it'll be easier for Hearts simply because the one game. So there at the weekend, they played Sunderland in a pre-season friendly. Granted, Sunderland are riding their luck now with how they've been playing recently, but with them now being back in the Premiership, I expected Sunderland to give them a really hard game, no for Hearts to completely steamroll them.
I don't know how much you can look into these things.
It's
still
like I know it's
Celtic.
Yeah, I know it's like a friendly is a friendly, but it's like you'd expect like Sunderland to know like Hearts are just off the back here winning the group stage. They're going to be looking for a true challenge as their last final friendly of the season. For Sunderland to go try and give them that, and then Hearts completely roll them. It's a case of
You've got to remember as well that it was a testimonial.
Granted,
so
it was. I can't believe he's been there.
Craig Gordon's.
Do you think this is his final season?
I think so.
42, and the injuries are starting to pile up again. I mean, he was only on for the first 30 seconds of that game because they subbed him off straight away because he shouldn't have actually been playing.
Aye, obviously he wanted to actually play in his testimonial.
Aye.
So Xander Clark came on after 30 seconds.
Fair enough. They should have given him 42 seconds just to give him a laugh, but no.
He probably took more than 42 seconds to come off the park, shaking everybody's hand. And
probably.
Well, that pretty much covers all of the games other than our one, which, if I offer my thoughts on that, first of all, I would say that, like, if you take a step back and you look at it from a neutral point of view, what's everybody going to be saying about that game? They're going to say
Falkirk's going to pub them.
Do the same thing. Well, I mean, if Celtic play to their absolute best, we will lose that game, and that's not being defeatist or being negative. It's just stating facts. Celtic are better than everybody in the country. If they play to their best, nobody can touch them.
No.
But if we play to our best, and like I say earlier, if we play to our best and they have an off day and they miss a few early chances and the crowd get on their back and something dodgy goes against them and they lose their composure, it can happen. It happens every season. It happens in every country in Europe. So fucking bring it on, man.
Definitely. I'm gonna say it. I think we could take it to extra time and then we'd lose it there. But it's a case of I still think it would take a miracle for us to get through. But I think we could take them to full time and get a draw for full time and see what it takes us to extra time, because we've done it before with a team that's arguably the teams back then was 10 times better than what we've got now. Like, especially like the Crunchy era. Like, that's an era that no one's gonna forget. But it's like still there's the chance. There's the chance it could happen.
Yeah, I'm resigned to, like, there's a 90% chance that we lose that game.
I hate to break it to you, but like the last time Falkirk beat Celtic at Celtic Park in the Cup, we had the likes of Anthony Stokes and Casper Schmeichel in the team. So, aye.
Oh well. But yeah, no, I do agree that, like, if Celtic are not at their best, or if they're not even at 80%, then and we are at our best, then we'll make a fucking good game of it. I think, like we were saying sort of earlier, I think the maturity of the team, the extra year, the fact that they've been there before, they know how relentless it is. They'll be preparing for that, and they'll have a fire in their belly to get one over on them. Because they'll 100% have felt hard done by.
Oh, 100%.
And like, even though like they'll probably deep down, like, sorry, on the surface they'll say, oh, it was a free hit and like we done ourselves proud and blah blah blah. Like they'll have come away from that game saying like we had a fucking opportunity there. Like until they brought the big boys on, like we fucking rattled them.
Oh, you could see it when they came over to applaud or us that had stayed behind. You could see how gutted they were in their body language, and it just shows you how much belief that group of players has got, that they can come away for a defeat at Celtic Park and feel that gutted about it because
And the
they
one thing,
actually did
sorry to
believe.
interrupt. Yeah, I didn't want to like jump in there, but it's like one thing as well though is Casper Schmeichel's reaction as well. How proud he looked when he walked past the Falkirk fans. It wasn't just like again a reaction of, oh, they're clapping me. It's like, I know bad boys, no bad, well done. You scoped me.
Aye.
I remember
like
the game face so good.
But yeah, no, I'm resigned to thinking that our cup journey's over, but here comes the money.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Where's Shane McMahon when we need him?
But no, like I think we've got a chance. Like it's not a foregone conclusion. We've got a chance, but I think there's a lot of puzzle pieces that need to fall into place for us to get through.
So I know that we've kind of went over time on this majorly, right? So we should probably wrap things up soon. But just like if we think about the kind of money that's going to come in, what is it that you think that we still need? Like if you could like go out and get somebody to come in, because I still kind of think, for example, we probably do need another winger. That's straight off the top of my head.
So I think our priority
left back
needs
a backup.
Boy.
A backup.
Nah, we need them on the other side of the park, because if Keelan Adams gets injured, we're fucked.
Oh, Connor Allen can play it right back, can he know?
Aye, he can, but is he Keelan Adams? Is he an attacking player?
No.
He's good enough to fill in, but he's not a right back. And like I didn't think he'll be as attacking as what Keelan is, and I think that we will miss that massively.
So, one thing though, I'm curious, Corey, is that you said that we need another left back. So I'm curious, are you saying that would it be a case of Mackie is the one that should be doing the pecking order, or are you talking about McCann?
Neither. I'm saying as a backup to them, because
right, okay.
Depth is one thing we still need, because when Cole comes back, we'll have 4 centre backs. Technically, right?
I think if you can build a squad and have 2 players for every position, that's the ideal situation you want to find yourselves in. So if we've already got 2 left backs, then surely we're sound.
Granted, but like, what happens if, especially nowadays, like, I'm not saying this is going to be a fault, but say something happens with, like, the wee man for Leon, like, I think it's a boy he's got in it, wee boy. Aye. Say something happens to the Wayne and he can't make it because he's stuck in hospital with the Wayne and Sean's injured. What do we do then?
This is where...
And it's still hypothetical, but it could happen. Like, it's like a hanging... I get you with the right back as well, though.
To happen for that to materialise as a scenario, though.
I get you. It's like the worst of the worst, but it's happened before, though.
It's just an example, but it can happen. The issue that we've got is that we've no got an academy to fall back on.
No.
So we've no got... We can't bring in a 16-year-old left back or something. I mean, because we're only just getting the academy back on its feet again.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Paul Hartley.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves. My door's gone. So 2 seconds. So you guys chat.
No worries. So I think we need a backup right back. I think unless we are saying that Connor Allen is going to be that, and we just pray that Keelan doesn't get injured.
So I mean, what's the script with Finn Yates then? Because he's been on the bench and that, but like again, is he injured or not?
Aye, so he's the same injury as Barney. So he's a broken 5th metatarsal.
Oh, that's right. I mind you actually said the other day. See, like I swear I watch every YouTube upload where Miglin gives the updates. My memory is just so crap. I just don't remember anything.
Mine's just going the same way, but I just seem to remember tidbits of information that for situations like this. But if you ask me to remember that I've got washer in the washing machine for 2 days that I forgot to hang up and need to rewash all the time, then aye, that's a different thing. But so he's out for 12 weeks, the same as Barney. So yeah, like at the moment we don't have a backup right back unless you're considering Connor Allen, which obviously I think that we're quite lucky to have Connor Allen. Obviously he came to Rangers and like he can play a number of different positions, which is kind of being utilised in this season already. So yeah, I think he can do a job against was it Cove he played against? I think it was maybe Cove.
I think so.
Aye, he played right back against Cove, and we never scored, which obviously is no good to him. But if Keelan's in that right back position, do you think he breaks the lines a bit more to set up an opportunity? I don't know.
I mean, possibly. I mean, I was going to say that Keelan got an assist on Saturday, but I don't know if that was what he was actually trying to do. It looked like he was shooting, and Calvin Miller stole his goal. That's kind of what it looked like to me.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
The camera even zooms in on Keelan Adams, and you can see like the look on his face is like a what the hell, man? He's like that, and then Calvin's just like,
aye. The balls went in, so
aye, we've scored. What are you bothered about? That's probably exactly what Calvin said to him.
Yeah. I do think that we could use another centre back. I know that obviously just saying that maybe Corey said that we'll have 4 centre backs when Cole comes back.
Aye.
I think that given Cole's and Tom Lang's injury record, I don't think that we should put ourselves in a position where we're relying on them. And I know that we've got Connor Allen and Sean Mackey that could obviously deputise at centre back if we need to. But yeah, I would be much happier if we got somebody in there that's like a bit of Premiership experience. Maybe is like no technically good enough that they believe they should be starting a Hedy Hendo or Lewis Nielsen, but certainly like is the first choice if anything happens to them. I think that would be a good one to get in.
A Stephen Kingsley, for example, would fit that kind of bill.
Aye, yeah.
But with us already getting one centre back from Hearts, I can't see them being willing to accommodate that. But I possibly need somebody else in, especially if there's question marks over the likes of Tom Lang with his ball playing ability, or rather the lack of. Another winger as well, because
I think another winger, yeah.
Because I touch wood when I say this, and I hope nothing does happen to Calvin Miller. But if something does, we might be in a wee spot of bother. Now, Ethan Ross on his day can be every bit as good as Calvin Miller, but he's no, based on previous anyway, he's no quite brought that level of consistency that Miller does. I think that they absolutely rely on him to provide, and what a turnaround it's been for him. I mean, I always thought he was a good player, but he's about twice as good a player as what he was this time last year.
I think he's undoubtedly the star of the team. I think Calvin Miller. I think obviously Brad does get a lot of the plaudits, and obviously Hendo like sweeped the sort of Player of the Year awards last year.
Which was deserved.
Oh, it was deserved. Hendo was outstanding, but I think that Calvin was overlooked in a lot of instances. I just think, like we didn't have that spark. I think Ethan's more hot than cold recently, but he is still hot and cold.
all he's got to do is just unlock that consistency, and he will be. I'm confident he could be just as good as Calvin Miller. In fact, I would argue on his day he is every bit as good as
Uh,
Calvin Miller. It's just maintaining that across the
aye.
season.
The thing with Ethan is, I think if he unlocks that consistency, then we didn't keep a hold of him. But I think we get a decent fee for him.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's just part and parcel, and
Aye.
so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I know that for example Barry Mackay, he is still without a club. When I last checked,
Right.
he got released by Hearts. Surely he would be worth a look in. I mean, he's still only what 30. It's like the experience as well. Surely if now that we know we've got about 300 grand coming our way, surely we can have a look at somebody else that brings somebody in that's got that bit of experience. And it's not like I say he's no 36 or 37, although obviously Brian Graham and Scott Arfield are that age, but you don't really want to be bringing in a winger that kind of age because especially the way we play, it's a lot of running.
Aye. No, I think that he would be a good option. I mean, I noticed in some of the sort of the friendlies and in the cup games that with when Ethan and Calvin have been tiring, we've had to stick like Alfie, and then it's been either Aidan Nesbitt or Gary Oliver that's been out on the other wing.
Yep, which
And obviously
I'm
they're
not a
no
fan of.
wingers.
No,
I think Gary's a really good player. I really rate Gary.
very
But
intelligent.
aye, it needs to be a game where like he needs to find the pockets and he needs to play in a position where he can use that intelligence. When you're out on the wing, like you didn't really need much intelligence, um, as opposed to you need skill, speed, and like drive, pretty much. And then obviously, if you can put a good delivery in, then you're pretty much a nailed on winger.
Aye.
Gary's no really that like no saying he's slow, but like he's not got the pace like a typical wide man.
Well, you just think about the way that we play. Our wingers are usually the ones that drive us up the park. I mean, how many times, even just on Saturday, for example, did Ethan Ross grab the ball and maybe run 20 or 30 yards with it
Yeah,
and bring the team up the park? Like, we really, if we're going to bring somebody in, it needs to be somebody that's got a bit of pace as well, because there will be probably a lot of opportunities for counter attacks just with the way that teams are going to come at us because they're not going to be fair to us yet until later in the season. But
well, I
I mean, you could maybe make the argument for a striker, but since Barney's not going to be too long term, remains to be seen.
yeah. I think I, I think it depends on if we lose McKeever or no. What I will say though is that if we do lose McKeever, it better be for a decent amount of money. Don't know if obviously well we spoke about Ramar Burrell. Like it
1.1
was
million.
1.1 million.
Wild.
He went for, and I know that that's in England.
He
And
wouldn't have got that if he was still at the
Cove.
was High Cove.
Aye. Nah, no chance. But like obviously he's kicked on, and like I think that Ross McKeever is every bit as good, if no better, than what Roman is. From what I seen, but obviously Roman might have kicked on, But I have every sort of confidence that if Ross McKeever went down England, that he would kick on in a similar fashion. But again, we're not going to get 1.1 million from him.
No, not at all. Well, I think that pretty much about does it. I got a message, by the way, from Corey. He is now predisposed with something else. He said to just
Right.
wrap it up.
Fair enough.
So he'll not be back. He's fucked off. He's not coming back. So,
oh well, it was you last week, Ray. Corey
uh,
this week. Well, not last week. Last
well,
episode.
last episode. Well, to be fair, my phone died.
Aye.
So, aye, just
So
as
it's my
a
turn next time.
aye. Anybody that's still watching at this point, by the way, thank you very much for sticking around and listening to us talk shit for as long as we have. Oh, he's back.
It's back.
I was
Back
just
right at the right
wrapping
moment.
up there.
Perfect. I actually need
Aye.
to go, so that's perfect
Um,
timing.
Cool.
Is there anything you want to add, Corey, since you're back before we finish up?
Nah, everything's been covered as far as I know, so
Cool.
I'm trusting you.
Aye. So where was it? I just thanks anybody that's still watching at this point. Really appreciate it, especially it's this pod's early days as well. Appreciate all the
Aye.
support.
Especially everyone that's coming up to us at the games and that, and
Well,
giving us
nobody's done
advice
that
and
with
that.
me so far, but
I've had a couple. Obviously, I just echo that. Ray, obviously, thanks for people that have watched it. And obviously, we got probably a lot more views than what we expected on the first video, which is obviously really good. So yeah, obviously, if people still keep viewing it and we keep getting good comments, then we'll keep making them.
Definitely.
And just to give an idea of what's coming next, don't know exactly what day it's going to come out. Probably in the next couple of days, because we'll want to get this out before the league season starts. But we were going to do a wee review of last season. So just talk about the format was pretty much just going to be like month on month kind of thing. So feel free to stick around and catch that as well. And then we'll just be back as and when. I don't think we've got a strict schedule or anything. We'll just play it by ear.
Yep.
Pretty much, yep.
No. Well,
Cool.
thanks very much for watching, everybody. Take care. Mon the Bairns.
On the Burns.
Peace out, guys.
Right. Ciao, ciao.